Outer Banks. I'm Sue Arts with OBXEntertainment.com. We're here to welcome you to a brand new episode of OBXE TV.
Woo! Nice!
Our special guests today are Shira Slams, Stormer Bruin, and Matilda the Hun from the Kill Devil Derby Brigade.
Woo!
We're here today with Lauren, Sabrina, and Amy, also known as Stormer Bruin, Shira Slams, and Matilda the Hun from the Kill Devil Hills Derby Brigade. Awesome. So thank you guys so much for being here today.
Thank you.
So for anyone who doesn't know, what is the Kill Devil Derby Brigade and how did it get started?
Kill Devil Derby Brigade was probably started, what,
4
years ago?
Yeah, 4 years ago.
And, you know, it's been growing slowly. The first couple of years was a very slow growth, but we feel like we've got a little momentum. We've got a good, batch of local girls now that are staying with us pretty regularly.
Nice. So, like, who came up with that idea? Were you just, like, a couple of you guys, like, were already friends and just kind of...
the original... founder for it was Roland Bayou. She came here from Portland and had been skating for 5 years.
Mm-hmm. With Rat City Roller Girls.
Then our coach, Camunition, she came on and was just like, oh, you're roller skating? And then more girls started coming roller skating and they were like, Derby, let's go.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
And then it just was like boom, 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 boom.
Nice.
Boom, boom. So
yeah, and you
it was
guys,
nice.
They actually, like, made you your own skating rink, didn't
Kill Devil
they?
Hills has been very supportive. You know, they had the hockey rink out there,
Yeah.
and that's kind of where it started.
The rink was there.
The rink was there, and then we
got
asked
them
them
to paint the track on it.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. So in the winter, they just, like, pour some water on there, like, there you go.
That would be nice.
Well, it's
would be
inline hockey
Yeah.
that they play out
Okay,
there.
so,
Yeah.
right. I'm a native New Yorker, so you have to forgive me. So.
Yes, they have ice up there.
Yeah, up there.
We don't have much
Only on
ice here.
occasion do we have ice down
Right,
here.
right.
Yes.
Nice. So, like, how did each one of you guys become involved?
Well, 4 years ago, I saw them skate by, the few girls that were trying to get it started, skate by in the St. Patrick's Day Parade, and was with my best friend who's also on the team. And we looked at each other, looked at them, and said, "Oh, that's us."
Nice,
It just looked
nice.
fun and energetic,
Yeah.
and just fun.
Nice. So, and you started later?
I started 2 years ago.
Just had her derbyversary.
Yes, Derbyversary. A very good friend of mine, Tanya Hill.
An angel.
Pain Angel is her name.
Mm-hmm.
She had been doing it for a couple years, and I always thought it was cool, but never really for me. I was having kids and busy with the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And finally, one day, she was like, when are you coming out? When are you coming out? You gotta try it. You gotta try it. We're gonna have a fresh meat tryout. And so, I'm like, I don't know. So finally, she's like, hey, I bought you a pair of skates. So
She wanted her to
you're
play.
coming out, you're gonna try it, and that's all there is to it. I got your size, you're coming. So I was
Nice.
like, okay. And, instantly, I
Fell
fell
in
in
love
love,
with it.
yes.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
been skating ever since. And
Awesome. Cool.
had to pay her back for those skates.
Yes. Happily.
Yes, happily.
Well, I started skating when I was 8, then took
Wow.
like a 23-year hiatus.
Yes.
I lived in Wilmington and Fayetteville where it was fairly popular and a lot of my friends were playing, and so I just watched them play. When I came back here and was like, oh, we have roller derby here? Okay. And I just went out, and actually my derbyversary is about to come up too. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
It'll be 2 years for me as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we just went out to your last one that you had at Kill Devil Hills, and I saw you had, like, I'm sure there's plenty of signs, but right next to us was... They were holding up
Matilda's
They
our
like your
bun.
bun.
Yeah.
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 Was that your
We love your
parents?
buns. Actually, that was Roland Bayou. She
Nice.
is my wife, as it were.
Uh-huh.
And now we're
So has
divorced.
she retired? The founder
She
has
is retired.
Yes.
Because I imagine, because, like, I know growing up, and it's different now because with insurance and all that, but, like half my birthday parties were at Skate World up in New York and stuff, and I tried rollerblading, but it's really hard.
Rollerblading is a lot harder.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Well, like
Sideways.
Amy, I hadn't skated in over 30 years.
Yeah.
But, you know, so there's definitely a relearning curve.
Definitely,
but,
definitely.
You know, it's just fun, and you know, it's such an athletic sport.
Right.
And it really, you know, the strategy of it and the, you know, the whole game itself is just.
Yeah, and for anyone who doesn't know, like I know that like each team, and I noticed that there's 2 different color shirts here.
That's right.
So,
Yes, we are the Riptide Wreckers, and
We are Blackbeard's Revenge.
and is it always that way, or do you switch around? Or
Well, they are reversible. So, and we did switch a couple girls. We're trying to keep them
right, like
so they're
evenly-
competitive. Yes,
right, totally.
But this is actually new. It used to just be one color, one team.
Right.
And recently we've almost doubled in size
That's
of our
awesome.
team. So now we have enough players where we can have scrimmages and play against each other.
That's definitely cool.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then we formed one travel team that we take and go. Like we've got a game coming up June 7th in
7th.
Gastonia.
So
So-
there's. So do you guys just go all around North Carolina, or?
Most of
Yeah,
our games
and
are
Virginia.
travel,
And Virginia.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, you have quite a following here. I mean, we were just because it was our first experience, and well, there was kids everywhere, and they were happy because the playground's right over
Right.
there, you know.
Yes,
And
yes.
then, yeah, people just bring their beach chairs and like sit down.
Well, it's a
and-
very family-friendly sport
Yeah.
as well because you can have your kids come. You know,
Yeah.
most of us are mothers
We have-
and
Right,
have
right.
kids, and they run around while we're practicing. Many of us, I
Yeah.
should say, not most of us, but of all different ages. But some of the younger ones have got roller skates now. and,
Nice, nice. Yeah, we actually got an awesome video clip. There was like probably like 7 little girls, and they were just like
Derby
all
kids,
sitting
yeah.
right there, and they were like, yeah. So
And that's the beauty of the sport because it can be for, you know, all different types of, you know, body styles. You know, a teeny little girl is
Yeah.
equally effective as a girl as much
Giant
larger
girl.
stature.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
you form one team and it's a very empowering sport, which is
It
why it's the
is.
fastest growing
Yep.
sport in the world right now.
yeah, and we definitely encourage women.
Positive, strength.
Yeah,
right, power.
you guys are tough.
Absolutely.
And they have
Totally.
junior derby. We don't have junior derby.
Oh,
but
you-
there is a junior
Maybe
derby.
one day.
I know. Well,
Yeah.
maybe after this episode we can gather up some people.
Yeah.
So, like, how old is a junior derby people?
They are,
8
I
to
think,
16.
it's
Yeah.
up to 15 actually.
Yeah.
And then from the age of 15 to 18, you're not allowed to play, I guess.
Really? Because you're
You're
busy,
just-
like, in the weight room.
Well, I
Oh,
guess
no.
because of your size, you can't really play with the younger kids. Like junior derby, I don't think it's different age groups. It's just one, younger group. So they don't want the big kids,
Right.
hurting the little kids. So, and then once you're 18, you can play women's flat track.
Yeah, I think our team ranges from 19 to 49. I don't know, is anybody older than 49?
No, 49.
No.
Yeah.
So we've got a pretty good range of ages.
I'm
you
not.
know?
I'm not too old.
You are
yet.
not too old.
But I play the violin. I know
You don't wanna
my
hurt your
first day
fingers.
out there, I'd
Yeah.
break my arm. I just
Yeah.
know it. But
And that's what keeps some girls, away from the sport. You know, if
Yeah.
there's another sport that they're really into, they don't want to jeopardize, hurting themselves so they can't play tennis or
Right.
or work is a big important thing too.
Huge.
or
for
just lay
sure.
on the couch. No, I'm just
That's
kidding.
not fun.
Well, you can always lay on the couch when you're broken.
So, have any of you guys gotten hurt before? Like, really hurt?
I broke my leg 2 summers ago.
Yikes.
And it was not fun. I laid on the couch because it was about 100 degrees that summer.
Oh, it's
and
terrible.
It was miserable.
That's terrible. Because, like, you guys are obviously all awesome skaters, but there's some, and you can't like use your hands to block people.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
just
you-
like hip checks and butt checks.
Yeah.
Checks and
And you
butt
never
checks.
know. I mean, you might go out there and it'll be your last time you go out there. So,
Yeah.
you just try to
Kinda
be as
dangerous.
safe as you can. And
We do wear full safety gear.
Yeah.
Yep, I saw that. That was good.
Yeah.
Our 8-year-old, like, the week after he was trying to be on his skateboard and, like, ripped his elbow open. I'm like, see, the roller derby girls, they
Yeah.
wear their protective gear.
That's right.
We were all comparing bruises the other day. After a game, you compare bruises. It's like, oh, look at this one I got.
You're like, I'm
It is a
MVP,
badge of
not
I got the bruise to prove it.
you. Nice, awesome. So, I mean, what's your attraction to the roller derby? Is it just because the adrenaline rush, or is it good exercise?
for me, it was a lot of things. It was the exercise. It was the challenge to learn something new. All the women on the team are very encouraging, and it's like this whole new sisterhood of friends that you have
Right.
that you didn't before, and you're like, now you don't know how you could ever live without them. So,
Right, I can understand.
to me, you know, it's very inspirational. It's great exercise. It's fun. And, you know, people kind of look at you like you're a superhero.
They do. I did. I was
That's
like,
cool
"They're
too."
awesome."
It's kind of fun.
Nice, nice.
I just like hitting people.
In a healthy way.
Even though you know people like her.
Sometimes I don't hit people. I just
Right, because like when you're at work, you
I
want
go back to
but you're like,
1970.
Yeah, like if I was in my roller skates right now, you would be
Yeah. That's awesome. Definitely,
Yeah,
and
can't
you
do
just
that.
a mixture of both.
No, I love to be physically active, and when I saw the girls skate by, and I knew they were outside here, so I was like, oh, great, another great, fun thing to do outside. And my passion for the sport actually, definitely grew as I got more into it, and as your ability grows, and you learn how to use your body and your strength to, take people out. It's
definitely fun.
It's very
I can
fun.
see that. I
Yeah,
can totally see that.
absolutely.
Definitely.
And when you see the level of athleticism in your friends that you've been practicing with, and see how they jump around somebody
It's
in a
probably,
game
like,
or something,
super
or they
funny,
go
yeah.
in and they just when you're working together in a practice, and then you do it in a game, and you're like, wow, I just did that, and it worked. Practice! And it's like it's really it's rewarding. So
Nice,
that's good.
nice.
Yeah.
In the game, because we didn't know anything about how the scores went, but there's the jammer, right?
Mhm.
And she's the one that goes.
She's the one person.
She's the one that gets the signs made about her. No, I'm just kidding.
no.
She gets
She
beat
wears a
up
pretty
pretty bad.
star
She
in her
gets-
helmet.
yes.
Yeah.
So you gotta go. Is it you get one
One
point
time
every
around.
time she makes it around
1
without
point for
getting knocked
every
over?
Every person, every time she passes your hips, that's a point.
But
On
you
the-
have to
on the
pass one
opposing
time,
team,
right?
yeah.
First, before you score points. You have to get through the pack.
The
Which is
initial,
4 people.
the initial pass you have to make through the pack.
Once.
Okay.
And once
Yeah,
you
there's
And
get
then
there,
you get a
start
point
making
for
points.
each one that you.
Correct.
Of the other team.
Okay,
you pass legally.
yeah.
There's
Yeah, I get it. Because I was like, man, they've been zipping around that track 134 times.
people are like,
Yeah,
what's
see,
going
that's-
on? What's the object of the game? They just keep hitting each
Yeah.
other and going around in circles.
Yeah.
But that's awesome. So then there's it's kind of almost like soccer, kids playing soccer, but it's like you got your blockers,
Mm-hmm.
and then I guess the badasses.
Just
that-
mainly blockers
You
and
know.
jammers.
Yeah, there's
Push
four
'em out
blockers
and-
and one jammer on each team, and at the start of the game, or the start of each jam, it's broken down into 30-minute halves and then 2-minute jams. And then, so providing they're not in the penalty box, 4 people
Right,
from
there
each
was a lot
team
of
line
those.
up in hopefully a wall to try to block the jammer. When the whistle starts, those 2 jammers are fighting to get through the other team as fast as they can, because the first one through is called the lead jammer. And lead jammer, I know, I was going to do that. And the
Jammer.
other not lead jammer, which you don't want as much, but both jammers can score points once they get through that pass, the pack the first
Okay.
time. As a fight to get through the next time, they start making points. Both jammers can score every time, but the lead jammer is the one that controls the length of the jam, and when they call it off, that's how
Yeah,
you
I
control
noticed
the
them
points.
going like
yeah.
this. I'm like,
Yeah.
what is
Yeah.
that?
So
That's
one,
like calling out
so
the
if
points.
one gets through first, she can get 4 points. See the other jammer coming through and go ahead and call it off before the other jammer can get any
Right.
points.
Okay.
So you
I
just
get
keep
it.
doing that over and over.
Mhm.
They don't get the points. You get the points.
And that's how
You
you
win.
use that as strategy.
Nice. Yeah.
We'll do
yeah,
that
I
next
totally
time.
saw it. Because
Yeah.
we were like, what do all those motions? But I noticed the jammers
Yeah.
were all like,
Yeah.
"Rrr."
Yeah.
Now, when you make the wall, are you allowed to only hold as a certain tightness? Because I'm like, man, if they just
Yeah, it's like it's called a multiplayer block.
Okay.
If you try to hold on to each other and not let somebody come through.
Through.
Now you can push against each other
Yeah, yeah.
and not use your hands and create a seal,
okay.
and she can't get through. But if you try to hold each other, as soon as she tries to break your hold, you have to let go.
Really?
But that's when
That's
you
kind of funny. Because
tighten
you
up.
think she just needs to
We'll say
Yeah.
Storm is the jammer, and me and Shira are holding each other.
Yeah, if
and
we're holding each
we're
other
like
like
this. Shira, this
You
is a
have to let go.
multiplayer.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then
But
they
we
would turn
can
to come like
squeeze
this,
together.
and then I'd be fighting like this,
And then that's
Yeah.
or jump around them.
I saw that too. And no wonder they
Or-
probably use the short girls for
Sometimes.
jammers because they can kind of get underneath a little
Sometimes.
bit.
Yeah.
We have a tall jammer that's pretty darn awesome on
She's-
the team too.
I'll bet.
She's all
She's
legs
made of rubber
and
bands.
she's like
Yeah, she's probably "Paching,"
all over the
and everybody
place.
just makes
Yeah.
yeah.
they all have their own unique style, I think.
They do some, especially, and if you have some girls like to push, and they'll just push and linebacker their way through, or some are very jukey and they'll go back and forth and try to get the other team.
Right,
But
right.
speed is a jammer's friend, and they want
Right.
to try to get the wall moving so they can get the people separated. So,
Nice, nice.
It's fun.
Yeah, that was definitely. I mean, I loved it. When I saw
There's a lot of action, wasn't it?
It makes me feel like I'm like I could do that too, but then the whole violin thing. I'm
You
like,
don't wanna
No,
get
but you
break
could
my
ref,
arm.
or you can
can.
NSO.
There's other ways
there's
to
all
be
kinds-
involved
yes,
in
there's
roller
actually-
derby.
Yeah, I thought about that too. I'm like, they're
then you
gonna
get your
have
own
me sell the
name.
T-shirts.
Yeah, you'd have
you
a name,
know,
you could
like-
wear
No, you gotta-
stripes.
Yeah.
So how did you guys come up with your names?
How'd you come up with yours?
I wanted something that was gonna sound strong, but also kind of superhero-y, you know.
Of course.
It was really hard. It took a few months, back and forth, and finally it was the very original name that I thought of because I always remembered She-Ra, Princess of Power.
Right.
You know, growing up in the 80s, she
Right.
was like awesome. So naturally, that was the name I went with, but I wanted something to kind of, you know, I wanted to have a first and a last name, and my son picked the end of it. He said, "Mom, slams. She-Ra slams. That's like
perfect.
awesome."
Yeah, that
And
is
then I
awesome.
couldn't even say no because my son came up with it.
Right, you're like, oh, there's
It's
my
meant to
name.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That's an awesome.
So, and I mean, it did kind of, you know, take a little bit to grow on me, but now I'm like, I couldn't really think of my name.
and all of
being
you get your
anything else.
names. Is it on the back?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
on the
yeah.
back.
She-Ra slams. That's awesome.
We'll all turn around.
Awesome.
So,
Yeah,
and then
how about
my
you?
Stormer Bruin, I wanted it to be tie it to the area. I was trying to think of maybe something piratey or I don't know, storm related in
Right.
some way or another, and I just finally thought of it.
And
Nice.
And then it
awesome.
seemed to fit perfectly because I was like, oh, if it's a hurricane here,
Yeah.
why not Category 5? You know,
Yeah.
be a badass. Pardon my French.
Yeah, I hear you.
Well, mine's not so original. I stole it from Death Race 2000. And,
Which I just saw that movie a couple weeks ago.
I had to contact 5 different girls to
Really?
see if I could use the name because there was another Matilda the Hun that actually played with Roland Bayou in Portland.
Wow.
So I had to contact her. I had to contact Aquila the Hun, Camilla the Hun, and another
Wow.
one I can't remember.
Before it
To
got
make
approved.
sure that I could get
Nice.
my name approved.
Yeah.
So
They
she
had- there's
really
like a
wanted that
master
name.
list.
I really wanted the name.
And that was gonna be my next question. Like, once you think of your names, you have to like bring it before your team and be like, "All right,
No,
here's."
wait, there's like a master registry or
Nice.
something. I guess in case you go somewhere else. Or,
and somebody else has your name or your number or something like that.
So you guys could go anywhere. Like you could
Yeah,
just be
sure.
like,
But
"I'm
we
gonna
could be on the
over here."
All-Star team and
Yeah.
play in China.
That's
yeah.
People
awesome.
do that.
Yeah,
Awesome.
they had the second World Championships for roller derby. When was it? Last October, I think. Teams from all over the world. I mean, it's growing all over the world. It's pretty.
That's awesome.
It's a
Well,
big
I just
deal.
like it because it's like it's definitely like a woman empowerment,
definitely-
you know.
Well, now there is co-ed, just so you know. Co-ed is making a comeback again, just like
and there
from
is
the 70s.
is it Murby?
It's,
Derby.
there is a strict man derby team
Yeah.
as well. I think it's in Virginia or
Yeah.
Maryland and
really.
Yeah.
up northern areas.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people who play in like the invitationals that are. From
Do you
those
think like
teams.
that'll ever like combine? Like they'll have like the best girls against the best guys team, and of course you would kick their ass, but
No,
They would just probably be co-ed.
I would say no. It would be
I'd co-ed.
co-ed.
Yeah.
that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
You can't have boys against girls.
Yeah.
I know.
It's
I
two totally
feel that way
different body
too.
types
Like,
and hitting
Even the
styles
strength
and
Right.
stuff is
Yeah.
a little.
Yeah, my 14-year-old wrestles, and they have girl wrestlers, and I'm like, how does that? I'm like, what?
wow.
Yeah. Typically,
Like,
girls,
really?
yeah,
You know,
that.
like-
But-
Yeah.
But that's awesome. So, do any of you have? I know you said your moms, except for you. Someday, maybe.
One day. Sorry.
Maybe you'll play at the wedding.
Yes. We'll give you a great deal. But do any of you have girls?
I have a girl.
You
Well, I
girl?
have 2 girls actually.
And like, were they one of the ones sitting there when we?
One of them probably was. The other one was running our merchandise table that day. Yeah, so
Nice.
they're involved. If I go to practice, she's right there with me, the little one.
That's
the
awesome.
older one's not home anymore, but she still helps. She loves to come to the games and watch. So
Nice.
yeah.
So do you feel like roller derby and just that you guys, because you guys are tough. You're really like tough, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, do you feel like that is influencing your girls? at all?
Hopefully, I hope
Yeah.
so.
I mean, it's a positive
'cause
outlet. You would
yeah,
hope it
we
is,
want to
you
teach
know?
them. You know, you're not made to be in the kitchen making muffins all day. Like,
Right, you're made to be
know.
out there selling T-shirts.
Yeah. Get out there and sell some t-shirts and cheer for your mama.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
I like the shirts that say
A
my mom.
positive
'cause, you know,
influence.
my mom, your mom, my mom.
Yeah.
Do you guys have those shirts
My
too?
Some
kids,
do,
all
some
my
do,
kids
yeah.
have them. It says
Nice.
my mom and your mom, and it's like the bathroom sign of
Uh-huh.
a woman.
Uh-huh.
And then the other sign is like a roller derby outline.
That's
With
right.
skates on,
With
yeah.
skates on.
That's right. That's
Or my
awesome.
mom can beat up your soccer mom.
I have that too.
Or your
yeah.
soccer dad.
My derby mom can beat up your
That'd be a
soccer
good one.
mom. Yeah.
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 That's a good
Well,
one.
awesome. Well, thank you guys. I know like you're probably busy with everything, but the last thing I want to ask is, when you get a day off from your probably 5 jobs that everybody has, what do you like to do on the Outer Banks?
I usually spend time with my family. I have a large family, so you know, I'm either with my kids at sports, or we're at the beach and they're surfing, or we're on the jet skis. In the wintertime, we like to go snow skiing and snowboarding. You know, other than that, it's work and derby.
Wow.
So whenever I have free time, it's with my family.
It sounds
usually.
like you make up for your work time.
I try. I try to be a superhero.
And I definitely believe you are. Like, you
Thank
guys
you.
are awesome.
Thank you.
Totally.
And what do
Thank
you
you.
do, Storma?
I surf, or I garden. I explore some of the different areas like Nagshead Woods or Jockey's Ridge. You know, just take advantage of the beautiful areas. We went down to Bodie Island Lighthouse a couple weeks ago.
Mhm.
Just went fishing down there. Just be outside.
Nice. Nice.
I'm the exact opposite. I like
You're
being
like, I'm working all the
inside
time.
and working on my movies because that's what I do.
That's awesome.
That's my spare time. Just making movies. I'm actually working on a short film right now, and it's
Cool.
pretty neat. I'm very excited about
Cool.
Yeah.
Learn something new every day.
I know. I had no idea.
Nice.
Who knew?
I know.
Matilda leads a secret life.
That's on my business card.
Awesome. So, if anyone wants to go to your next, if they want to go to Kill Devil Hills, the next one is September
it. 26th.
26th.
At Aviation Park.
Whistles
Cool.
at 7 o'clock.
Is it? Okay.
And
Or
if you
7:30.
can't wait, we have one June 28th in Virginia Beach.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. Do you guys like traveling around everywhere? or-
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you have a bus?
No.
Would
We
be
drive
awesome
our
if we
carpool.
did.
Yeah, we carpool.
Great if we did have a bus. That would be kind of
That'd be
fun.
fun.
You should have like a
the
Kickstarter
driver.
campaign
We
for
need a
like, we
driver.
need a bus for
Bus for
girls.
Kill Devil Derby Brigade.
And
Awesome.
an indoor skate rink.
That's way more than the bus.
Do you guys
Indoor.
skate in the winter too?
Yes, we
We
do.
do. It's just, up and about 45 degrees. Below that, it just, especially if you're trying to practice and hit, your body just never really
Yeah.
gets warmed up.
Right.
And we can't
And
skate in the rain
rain.
because
Right.
it's
Yeah.
the track is completely
We
slick.
usually usually take a
High
break
wind.
December and January, and then February is kind of iffy, but that's when we try to start back getting into it.
And
Yeah.
then we try to do, make sure we stay in shape and continue to train through those other months.
That must
right?
be so hard. No, I'm just kidding.
This is my training.
See, I'm with her.
Let me get the other side.
This winter it was so cold we didn't do much of it.
I know.
We tried to stay warm.
Yeah, yep, totally.
Two-handers.
Totally. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you,
Thank you
Sue.
for having us.
Hopefully we'll be able to make it out to your next one. I don't know if we will, but everybody else should because you guys are really awesome and you are superheroes.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Check us out on
so
Facebook.
I want to be one. Yes.
Facebook. We have
Brigade.
Twitter now. We have Instagram.
Yep.
Awesome.
Derby Brigade,
Awesome.
so, yeah, it's fun.
So it's like that @ symbol at Kill Devil.
It's
Just Kill Devil Derby Brigade.
Kill Devil Derby Brigade
on
on
Facebook.
Facebook.
Okay.
Yes.
And
Cool.
then like
And then they
it's
can
the
just
same
click the button to
and,
get
um,
into all
And
that.
I believe it
Instagram.
attaches
Be a
everything
fan,
everything
and
else.
it has our whole schedule for the season. Even we've got a couple games up in Chesapeake, so
Cool. That's not very
yeah,
far
it's
away.
just a hop, skip, and a jump.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much.
Thank
Sue,
you.
for that.
Awesome.
Cool beans.
Well, I'm Sue Arts with OBXEntertainment.com and OBXE TV, and we'll see you next time.
There you go. Here she comes. Woo! Nice. Nice. Ready? was like, no, I'm good. I'm good.